Ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited. Today we finally got our first look at Halo Campaign Evolved. And I have to say, for once in a blue moon, I think I'm actually excited for a Halo title. Not only do the modern appearances of the Covenant look great, I've also heard rumors of new Covenant enemies which haven't been featured in the gameplay we've seen but will be arriving later on, as well as new forms for the Flood from the newer adaptations of Halo, like Halo 3, being implemented now in the very first one. Plus, sprinting is being added. Now, you could say what you want to say about sprinting in Halo Combat Evolved. I love it. The pistol is also a lot more balanced. I have to say, feels just a lot better. In this video, we're going to be kind of going over everything, though. That includes changes, announcements, pretty much everything. So stick around and enjoy. So regarding new things, we've got a lot of stuff that hasn't been in the game before. All this information comes from the video they've released explaining what's new and various websites on the internet. So for later news, you guys can comment it below, but don't call me out because I am recording this the day that everything was leaked. A couple new things that we're going to be seeing in terms of weapons. The battle rifle will be making a return, which I am very excited about because I've always been a DMR and battle rifle player. I do hope they add the DMR as well, since it's a very popular weapon next to the battle rifle. There's no guarantees, but it's possible. I do love that they're also adding the Needler rifle, which is definitely interesting. This is probably going to be, I think, the second Halo title it's ever been featured in. So it's going to be quite interesting to play with it. There's also going to be a couple weapons that were in the original game, but this time you can actually use them. This includes the energy sword and the whatever it's called, the fuel rod cannon. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. Happens every now and then. And I'm quite excited to see these weapons finally be available to be used, because for hell's sake, you couldn't use them in the original game, and I never understood the point of having weapons that you essentially can't even use. So, very happy they're changing that. Apparently, the Sentinel beam is also being added. I guess it makes sense, considering you have availability to that weapon in literally every other game. So I am quite excited to be able to use that. Regarding the Flood, there's some changes that I can't entirely speculate on, and there's some stuff that I absolutely know is for certain. Now, for a couple things that are absolutely confirmed, we've definitely got the Flood pure forms. So those will be added alongside the infected forms from Combat Evolved. These characters essentially originally came from Halo 3, so I don't know if Halo Studios is reusing old textures for them, or if they're coming up with something a little bit newer looking, but judging from what we've seen, it's most likely going to be a lot newer looking. A little bit scared on what they're going to do with the Flood, but yeah. Something else that we can't really for sure speculate on, but we know is different, is in the interview, one of the developers said that the Flood behavior is quite a bit different, as they've accumulated various behaviors from Halo 2 and Halo 3. So, what it's going to look like, I don't know. According to the web, they've also changed the pacing for the library. And me and a friend of mine have always agreed the library is one of the most painful, annoying levels in Combat Evolved. So if they've made the pacing of that level better, trust me, we will take it. We're going to love this game probably either way, but yeah, it's a little inside joke. We don't really know anything else about the Flood. I don't know if they're going to have something similar to Halo Combat Evolved, where you have to shoot their heads off to make sure they're still dead. But if they do include that, trust me, I'm quite excited. Regarding brand new things that never were in the game, period, they will be adding in 3 levels that come right before the events of Combat Evolved, featuring Master Chief and Captain Johnson, or Sergeant Johnson. Honestly, I'm so out of it right now, I just don't remember anything. But all I'm going to say is, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing Reach again. The reason I'm saying this is because right before Combat Evolved, Johnson was on Reach. So was Chief, from what I've heard. I haven't done my research. Comment below if you know anything else. But if that's true, I'm quite excited to see another point of view from Halo Reach. Because Halo Reach was a fantastic game, and if we do get some gameplay featuring Reach, I absolutely am so excited to see it. In regards to new stuff being added, there is definitely some cool stuff that's been added. That's been in newer Halo titles, but not in these ones. For example, hijacking is finally in Combat Evolved. Well, not really, because this is a newer version, but same thing basically. You can hijack vehicles, you can now drive Wraiths. Sorry for my stutter, I'm a little bit tired, as I said. But you can now drive Wraiths, which I think is really cool. And you can sprint. I don't know if you can mantle or slide or anything. Absolutely no confirmation on that. But, I mean, they probably have added that in, considering they've added everything else in. One thing I am definitely hoping for is assassinations. They never added that to Halo Infinite, no clue why, but they definitely should keep it. It's one of the cooler aspects of Halo, and I feel like if you remove it, you're removing what's essentially become a part of the game. It doesn't really feel like Halo almost. Regarding what the game itself will feature, I think I'm most excited for this. First off, 4-player co-op will be featured. Secondly, split screen campaign, which I think is fantastic. We haven't had that since the early days of Halo back in 2001. So it's a great way to reminisce old game style. I do also love that no matter what device you're on, you can play with your other friends. And for the first time ever in the history of Halo, they are finally making Halo compatible with PlayStation. That means if you are a PlayStation player, you can play this game when it releases. I don't know if they're going to make a PlayStation compatible version with every other version of the game. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they can make the Master Chief Collection available to PlayStation players finally, and increase the player base a bit. And to PlayStation players, welcome. You're joining a franchise that's kind of at rock bottom, but also at its peak right now, for the first time in a long time. Another aspect they've added, which I have to say honestly doesn't feel too necessary, but I'll take it, is you can now aim with every weapon, just like, in Infinite and Halo 5. I actually do love this, because I honestly have always thought that was how it should have been from the beginning, is the ability to aim every weapon you've had. Apparently they've also nerfed the amount of ammo in the assault rifle, so now it only carries 32 bullets instead of 60 bullets. So, yeah. Everything has modernized mechanics, adding in stuff that hasn't been added in, due to time restrictions back in 2001 in the original version. Don't know if the grunts are able to melee like they can in later Halo titles. That has yet to be confirmed, but I will find out. The elites look pretty darn good. I mean, compare them to Halo 4 and Halo 5's art style, and tell me you won't take whatever you can at this point from Halo Studios if it looks decent. Alright? Because they find so many ways to mess up the designs, it's not even funny. So I'm happy. Another great thing I must say that I do love about this game is they are bringing back the original Jackal voices from Halo Reach, which actually is my favorite version of the Jackal's voice. So I am quite happy to see that return. Another thing they've added in, which I think honestly is really cool, not necessarily necessary, but I still love it, is the grunts have explosive methane tanks on their backs, just like in later titles. Again, is it necessary? To some, no. Personally, to me, absolutely. And I feel like a lot of players will feel the same. It's a great, addition to a grunt, and I'm quite excited to hear the OG grunt voice lines and elite voice lines in game. Now, just regarding stuff I saw from just watching the trailer, I need to say that I'm honestly quite impressed with the visuals. Granted, it does look like the game is still being worked on for, just due to a couple glitches I noticed. And I'm sure they're adding a lot more stuff that just isn't in it right now since it's still in development. But I feel like the visuals are great. I love the little red pop-up you get whenever you kill something. I love that they've kept that in later titles, and they've consistently kept it because it really helps. I don't know. It just adds to the game, I feel like. I love the design for the weapons, but there are some things that I really don't like. And I'll cover that in a second. The enemies all look good. I personally like the modern marine designs. You could say what you want about them. Everyone is allowed to have their own opinion, but I personally think they look really good. I love the Halo Infinite Marines, and these guys definitely look great. Regarding stuff I don't like about this project, I cannot stand the assault rifle sound, for the love of me. I've listened to the assault rifle sound in the gameplay footage I've seen, and it just doesn't sound good. I prefer the assault rifle sound from Halo 5 or Halo Infinite when it comes to later Halo releases. And I have to say that this is probably one of the worst sounds I've ever heard. I also do not like the melee sounds. I'm sorry, but after Halo Infinite, they just haven't had good melee sounds. I did not like Halo Infinite's melee sound. It just felt weak compared to the ones like from Halo 5 or Halo 4, which, to be honest, those are the melee sounds I prefer, and I've always felt as though that's when they really peaked in terms of like melee sounds. They just feel heavy, and there's weight to them, like you could destroy a tank with a few punches. But with the modernized sounds, like from Halo Infinite, and from this game, from what I've seen, those new punching sounds they've added are just going to be a permanent change that I have to accept. Honestly, I can accept that. I just don't like it. And I never will. Something else that I personally don't hate, but a lot of people do hate, is the pistol sound isn't the same as the original. Personally, I think it's kind of stupid to care this much about a pistol sound. I get that it's like OG and it's really strong, and trust me, I understand. I've played with it a lot, but it's really not a huge deal. And they actually have nerfed the pistol. You can't one-shot a hunter in the back anymore. I don't care what people think. I think that's great. It made no sense to me that you could one-shot a hunter in the back when they're supposed to be tanks, basically. So, I mean, yeah. And I have to say, a couple of the other sounds I really didn't like either, like the ones for the plasma rifle that the Covenant uses. Again, you're bound to have your own opinion, and some of you just might not care what the gun sounds like as long as the game's good. I respect that, and I still think the game looks great. I just cannot stand some of the sound effects. Yes, me and Green Soldier Productions will be playing this game as soon as it releases. Expect a couple videos on that. Overall, what I have to say about this game so far, it looks great. I'm very excited for it. Will it do well, and is it actually good? That's completely up to what I think in 2026 when it drops. I love they brought the original cast back and had them record brand new voice lines just for this game, adding brand new features and brand new missions. I mean, I'm quite excited to play this. Will it be good? We don't know. What does this mean? What I'm hoping that this means is maybe they're going to redo all the original Halo titles from Bungie. Does this include Halo Reach? Yes. I know that some viewers out there will agree that we want to see a remake of Reach at some point. And at the very least, I think what we're all hoping for is, if this is good, they remake Halo 2, and for the love of God, finally give us a Halo 3 anniversary. I speak for the people when I say everyone wants a Halo 3 anniversary, remaster, or just an updated version of the damn game. It made no sense that Combat Evolved and Halo 2 got that update, but 3 didn't. So that's something I think we're all quite excited for. I think another thing that we all just want to see is them at least getting the Elite designs right and the gameplay right. A lot of the designs have always looked really ugly in 343's recent games. Putting Halo Infinite aside, of course, I think Halo Infinite had the best Covenant design, and I think we're all hoping that this game really locks it down. I'm also wondering if, like in later Halo titles, you can take a plasma cannon off its mount and carry it like a minigun. Same with the normal machine gun turret. If you can do that in this game, great. Love it even more. We'll have more news and updates for you guys once we receive more information on this game. For now, everyone look forward to it. I hope to see all of you in the game. And if you're interested in joining me and Green Soldier Productions on playing the game when it releases, you can join my Discord server. It's free, doesn't cost nothing. And while we don't have a super active community, I'm always free to chat with people. Anyhow, thank you all for watching this video. I'm Army Men Initiative, and count me excited and freaking out. Peace out.